Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Children of Life Bible study. We're going to go ahead and start with prayer, everyone. Bow your heads. Father Hai, we thank you for all that you do for us. Yeshai, we thank you for your mercy. We thank you for delivering our ancestors in Egypt and always coming through for us when we need you. Please continue to grow us, grow the children in the fruit of the Spirit so that we can continue to grow and operate in the gifts that you gave them when they were knitted in our wombs, and that they continue to be pillars in you and have a learnable spirit and a teachable spirit. Amen.
Amen.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start with the Lord's Prayer in ancient Hebrew.
All right. All together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nawa Shabbat Shemayu Kodas Haya Shakab Anaya Kavah Ratzah Haya Rashah Ratzah Kula Haya
Shemaya, Nawa, Lakum, Kau, Yawam, Wasalak, Nawa, Hawalak, Nawa, Hasalak, Nawa, Hawalak, Nawa, Wala'ah, Gavaya'ah, Nawa, Va, the Sayawan, Hava, Halashai, Nawa, Man, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalak, Waka, Allah, Waka, Kapa, Ura. Come on, y'all dying down. Malam, y'all.
All right.
Yay!
No.
Y'all could do better. So, y'all could do better.
There's going to come a time where that board is not going to be there, so you're going to have to know it.
You're
going to have to remember it.
End of that.
All right, now we're going to do the Lord's Prayer in English.
English, I know that.
All right, on the count of 3, we're going to go ahead and start. 1, 2, 3.
Wait. All right, I thought you knew it. I thought
On the count of 3.
Somebody said Shemayim.
Right. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Yay! Yay! We're past that. Nope, you should not be doing that right now. You're out of order.
So next we are going to move on to the
Be quiet. Remember to raise your hand if you have the answer. And Elisa, yes, the Hebrew alphabet. Oh, credo, sorry.
Credo.
In Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Wait, we're going to do it together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
The Lord our God is one Lord. Shemaya Sharala Ahaya. Alahaya Nawa Ahaya Akai. Hero Israel. The Lord our God is one Lord. Shemaya Sharala Ahaya. Alahaya Nawa Ahaya Akai. Hero Israel. The Lord our God is one Lord.
All right. Good job, everyone. So now it's the Hebrew alphabet. All right.
Now you know
raise your
you're
hand
better than that.
if you would like to lead it.
Me.
You can lead it. I want to hear you nice and loud if you're going to lead the Hebrew alphabet. Okay? Go ahead. Start. Good job.
Yay!
All right. Who remembers what's next? Raise your hand if you know. Okay. So Zayuan, what's next? The numbers. The Hebrew numbers. Everyone say the Hebrew numbers.
Do not touch the board.
So these are the numbers in ancient Hebrew. Anyone would like to lead us? Annalisa? We're going to Annalisa lead us. Everyone say it together. Order. What's the letter?
6,
Shemawana.
10. Aishar. All
They
right.
know better.
The
They
next
know
one
better
you
than I
guys are
do.
going to repeat after your Dawada Amana. You guys ready? I want to hear everyone now, okay? Hi. All right.
1. Akkad. 2. Shanayim. 3. Shalasha. 4. Araba Iha.
Arapa Aha.
5. Kamasha.
Samasha.
6.
6.
Shasha.
Shasha.
7. Shaba Iha.
Shabbat Aha.
8.
8.
Shemawana.
Shemamana.
9. Kasha Iha.
Aha.
10.
10.
Aishar.
Aishar.
All right. Who wants to lead us this last time? Sana?
Him on.
1. Akkad. 2. Shanayim.
Shania.
3.
3.
Shalasha.
Shalasha.
4.
4.
Arabat Iha.
Arabat Aha.
5.
5.
Kamasha.
Kamasha.
6.
6.
Shasha.
Shasha.
7.
7.
Shabbat Iha.
Shabbat Aha.
8.
8.
Shemawana.
Shemawana.
9.
9.
Tasha Iha.
Dasha Aha.
10.
10.
Aishar.
Aishar. Yay! Good job. Are you parents incorporating that part of their teaching?
Yes.
Because I know the video went out, didn't it? Did you send it out?
All right, and now what we're
Teach
going to do,
Hebrew,
we're
so she
going
better know
to
it.
go over the
Good.
first 5 books of the Old Testament. First 5 books of the Old Testament. Is that a part of the rules? You gotta raise your hand.
Kaya wanna know. Go ahead, Kaya. Let Kaya tell you.
Okay, Kaya, what's this one? Say Genesis. Good.
Oh.
Say Job. Good. Exodus. Leviticus. Numbers. All right.
Yay! Good job, Kaya.
You gotta join. Okay. All right. On the count of 3, everyone say it together. 1, 2, 3.
3. Exodus.
4. Leviticus. 5. Numbers.
Yay! It took a long time for Kaya to talk in there, y'all.
Yeah.
Like her granddad. Took her till she lowered and through. She said she had nothing to say until now.
Yeah, 1 more.
Are you done with all this stuff right here?
So who remembers
remembers what book we were talking about today? Exodus. Does anyone know anything about Exodus? What do you know about Exodus? Moses is in Exodus. Who else? Do you know of anyone else that was in the book of Exodus? Well, we're going to learn of some other people that's in Exodus. So we're going to talk about Moses. Abraham? No, he's in Genesis. But we're going to... Who? Who you say?
The burning bush.
The burning bush was in Exodus.
Go to the.
No, Cain was not in Exodus.
So we're going to learn about Moses. We're going to talk about the burning bush. And we're going to learn of other people that was in Exodus.
All right. So, before we get into Exodus, you guys remember in Genesis we talked about Joseph, how he was already in Egypt? Yes. Remember in Genesis we talked about Joseph, he was sold to the Egyptians, and then years later his family with Jacob, also called Israel, moved to Egypt with him. You guys remember that? No? Okay. It was a couple of weeks ago. I agree on that. Okay. So Israel moved into Egypt with Joseph, and they stayed there and they grew and they multiplied. So we're going to talk about that today, and also some interesting facts and quick facts. It was written by Moses, the book of Exodus. It's the third book of the Old Testament, and Exodus means the exit or departure.
What does Exodus mean?
Thank you.
Good job.
And in the, yes, it means to leave. Mhm. They left out of Egypt.
So like when you left your house to come here for the Shabbat, that is a departure. When you leave somewhere and go somewhere else.
Mhm. And in the book of Exodus, it talks about how Israel was in bondage in Egypt and how Yeshua delivered them. And he did many great wonders. They were in slavery. So bondage means slavery. Yes. They were slaves in Egypt. And we have some pictures to show you guys that shortly. And we're going to see what type of slavery things they did while they were enslaved in Egypt. Okay? And it also shows us in the book of Exodus that Yeshua will do anything for those that love him and serve him. He did some terrible things to the Egyptians, we're going to see. And he did that for Israel because he loves us very much. All right? So, we're going to go ahead and get started. And I have some interesting facts for you guys. First one being the Red Sea. Yes, that's the Red Sea. Everyone say Red Sea.
Red Sea.
And the Red Sea, it was much bigger than this a long, long time ago. But currently, it's 190 miles wide. That means it's like wide this way. Really, really long. Really wide, I should say. Longer.
Wider.
You can't even imagine how wide it is.
She said you can't swim in it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it.
If you want to swim in it, it's 9,974 feet deep. So you'll be like, yeah.
Have you all been to a pool before?
Yeah.
And you stay on the 3 feet side, right? Because that's where your toes can touch the bottom at 3 feet. So imagine 9,000 feet. Will your toes touch the bottom? No.
All right.
Stay
Yes, very deep. Another thing, when Moses, and we'll see that in a moment, when Moses was with the burning bush with the angel of the Lord that Yeshua sent, he showed him a sign. He turned his hands leprous as a sign that he can show. So leprosy is, you see how his skin is brown right here? Yeshua made his hand turn white. He put his hand right here and then it turned white when he took it out. Like that. That's what leprous is. That's what it looks like. But then he turned it back to brown. Because Yeshua, that's Yeshua. He created everything.
He put the brown back in the skin.
That's
Yeshua
like
is very powerful.
that's like if Bernard
He
was
put
to
the
take
melon
his
back in
hand
his skin.
and go like this, and then he pulls it out and his hand is all white. And then he does it again and it's back to his normal skin color. That's the same thing Moses did.
Yeshua can take it away and he can restore it, to put it back. Good question.
Yep. Another thing that was interesting, there was a battle when Israel was in the wilderness. And in that battle, as long as Moses kept his hands up, lifted up to the sky, they won the battle. But if Moses put his hands down, then the other side, they would beat Israel. So Moses had to keep his hands up. But his hands got tired. Everyone hold your hands up. Let's see how long y'all can hold them up.
Hold your hands up, Micaiah.
Keep them up.
Keep them up. Let's see.
Both
Moses
of
had to
them.
hold the rod in his hand, both hands, and keep it up so Israel can win the battle.
Keep them up.
Both hands. Hey, what's his name? I don't want to call him Kaza One.
Go both hands up.
No, say.
Anybody tired yet?
Say it again.
Not yet. Not yet.
Desire.
So imagine
You gonna lose the
having
battle.
to do this for hours.
You gotta hold them up, strong.
Look.
Strong hands.
Oh, Ryan's hands are down.
Strong hands. Strong hands. Not noodle limp hands. Strong arms. Not noodle arms. He was really.
Do you feel anything in your
Don't get
arms?
beat up.
Like pulling in your arms?
Yeah, hold them up. Freya, hold them up. See how long you can hold them. Oh, what you doing, Manawa? Yeah, Manawa.
Let me beat y'all.
All
Stop
right,
it.
Come on. See that hand?
Bebe going strong. Bebe strong.
He's
Look at her.
strong.
Who else? Who else getting tired? You're getting tired. You're getting sleepy. Oh,
Feel the burn.
who's burning? Who's burning? Annalise, no.
Mike is getting tired.
Yeah. Araya, she's done. Malaka.
I see them
What?
hands dropping for some of y'all.
Another walk. We already saw them hands drop.
Come on, guys. We got it.
We saw them already
We're
drop.
tired. Support, guys. Let's go.
Come on.
4 seconds. Let's go. Support.
Look at them three leaning on each other. Look at them right there. Look at that. But look, Moses did have to have help, didn't he? So look what they doing.
Let's go.
Y'all they leaning. Look at all y'all.
All right, guys, put your hands down. Put your hands down. All right.
How did it feel?
So you guys saw it was a really long time. So with Moses, if you look at the picture, Moses had to have help to hold that up. So he had to hold it up for a really long
Okay,
time.
really? Oh, the man gonna still look. Oh, he's on. Oh, really? I'm serious. Really? Now you gonna put him down because his went down. Check this out.
So Moses had to do that for a really long time. Another interesting fact, when Moses went to get the tablets, which had the royal 10 commandments on them, he got to see Yeshua's handwriting. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah, I see his writing.
I do too.
Yeah.
You gotta get to the New Jerusalem. Go see his writing. Yep. All right, so now that we went over those facts, it's time to go ahead and get into the lesson. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right. So remember, after Israel, which is also Jacob, him and his family moved to Egypt, They started growing in number.
Whoa.
See how many people it is?
That's 100. You can't count it. It's too much.
Yeah.
Come on, it's 100.
And you know who thought that? There was somebody who thought the same exact thing.
Ooh.
That's Pharaoh. He was looking at them and he was thinking to himself, that's a lot of people. A lot of people. So then
He's definitely huge.
he said something. He said in Exodus,
Isaiah 6.
everyone, if you go to Exodus chapter 1, look at verse 9 and 10.
Exodus chapter 1, 9 and 10.
No, Exodus will be for you.
All right,
Chapter 1.
use everything.
Chapter 1. Oh, good job. Verse 9. You on verse 9? Good job. Don't turn to
Everyone, like Annalisa, please raise your hand once you find it.
Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Don't touch the other hand.
If you need help, please ask for help.
Ah! I don't know where it's 9. I'm at 1 for
You gotta go to,
Exodus chapter 1, verse 9. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
so when he said that, he ordered all of his servants to have them do more work. So remember we was telling you that bondage means slavery? This is some of the things they had to do. They had to make some buildings. They got whipped by making those buildings. As you can see here, a better picture, they had more hard work to do. And if you look in this picture, you can see one of the Egyptians with a whip in his hand. And he was whipping the other ones. Now, he also told 2 Hebrew midwives named Shapira and Puah that whenever they were delivering babies, a midwife delivers babies. So they were delivering the babies for the Israelites. And Pharaoh said, whenever you see a baby boy is born, you are to kill it. But they feared Yeshua, so they did not do that. Okay? So, because they didn't do that, they continued to multiply more and more and more and more. And there was more children. And Pharaoh saw that. So he decided now, you know what? He told all his servants to cast all the baby boys into the Nile River. Okay, so this is what happened. He was wanting them to throw them, all the babies, into the water. What's that right there?
Crocodile
A
teeth.
crocodile.
No.
Was that a nice thing to do?
No.
Mm-mm.
What happens if they throw the babies in there?
They go die.
How? What's gonna get them?
The crocodile is
And a lot of other animals that live in there.
hippopotamus.
Oh,
They are.
How do
Get off the teacher.
So, Moses' mother, she did not want anything to happen because she had a baby boy named Moses. So, we're going to show you guys. Oh, it's fine. I'll put it back
alright, so all eyes up front. What other animals do you think were in the Nile? Well, it's a river. Do we know what kind of animals live in a river?
A fish.
Fish?
Piranha.
Well, not in a river.
There's something similar to it.
Crocodile.
Crocodiles, yes, crocodiles do live in the river. They bathe in the river.
All right. So we're going to see what happened with Moses, okay? So Moses' mother, she put him in the basket. Okay. She put him in the basket. One moment, y'all.
Pharaoh, daughter seen Moses,
Oh, now we know some more people that are in the book of Exodus.
and then they hit him. Then he grew and grew,
Grew.
and he was a grown. And a grown man.
Grew. He grew and grew until he
Was he married?
became Moses.
He
He
was really
did eventually get married.
All right, let's try this
He
again.
did eventually get married.
So Moses was put in the basket by his mother. She put him in the river. There we go. And he went down the Nile River.
What animals do you guys see?
Monkeys. Was Pharaoh's daughter?
Give me 1 second.
Let's play a fun
I
game.
think the Pharaoh's daughter. Yes, that's Pharaoh's daughter.
What's that pineapple thing?
One moment, y'all. So,
Okay. Monkey was staring like.
yeah, it's like a snippet.
That was a banana fruit. Like something like they eat it with
Okay.
banana.
The screen's gonna be a little small, but you guys should still be able to see it, okay?
I'm looking like
All right, right time. Moses was put in the basket down the Nile River. And do you guys think Moses' mom had some faith
me.
because she put her baby in the river? Yeah,
That's the Pharaoh's daughter.
that's right. Pharaoh's daughter. She saw it. She told one of her servants to go bring it, see what the basket was, and she opened the basket, and she saw baby Moses. Okay. Now let's take a look at some of the animals that are in the Nile. Some of you guys already said it. A hippopotamus, a crocodile. Those things look vicious, huh?
Do you think
In the elevator. It's hippos or elevators. That's just crocodile. They will actually
Oh,
Do you think those will eat a baby?
Yeah.
You think a baby tastes good to them?
Yes. I think a hippopotamus will eat a baby.
Yeah.
and I heard someone say piranhas. Not a piranha, but
I said a piranha.
tigerfish.
No, I said a piranha.
Say it, tiger fish.
Tigerfish. I just said a piranha. Piranhas are crocodiles.
Well, this is a tigerfish and this is a perch.
That's a bird.
They grow much bigger than them. That's a small one. They're much bigger.
You see their teeth?
Ugh.
Yeah.
But that's a tiger. I don't want to get.
Do you think that'll take a bite out of a baby?
Yeah. If I bite a baby, and you might
So
go
specific.
dead.
So now Moses was raised up as Pharaoh's daughter's son. So he grew up with the Egyptians. He didn't die. So one day Moses was out and he saw how Pharaoh was treating the Israelites. He saw the hard work they had to do in slavery. And he saw one of the Egyptian soldiers beating up on an Israelite. And he stopped him. But that Egyptian man died. So he died and Moses was afraid. So he decided to run off and flee from the face of Pharaoh because Pharaoh wanted to kill him. Now, when he ran off, he met a woman and they got
What's
married.
her name?
Ah, so that answers your question for whoever asked did Moses have a wife.
I did it. She's a Roman white beard.
That's Zipporah's father. He's the priest of the Midianites.
Jethro.
Yes, Jethro. Yeah, Jethro.
But Pharaoh had boys.
No, this isn't
No,
Pharaoh.
not Pharaoh, Jethro.
This is her father,
Mm-hmm.
and that's Moses.
Are they getting married right now?
Yep.
Because it's.
They're holding hands. They're getting married. Now, Moses stayed here for a while, and one day he was tending to Jethro's flock of sheep.
So Annalise, yes, you was right when you said that Moses was a shepherd.
Mm-hmm. So he
They
was
had a
tending
staff.
to the sheep.
It's a staff.
Staff, but they got it's your sheep.
And while he was tending to the sheep, he saw a bush that was on fire, but it did not burn.
It was a sign.
It was the angel of the Lord. So he went to go see what it was. And then a voice came out. And
That was the sign.
the angel of the Lord spoke.
Oh.
We're going to go to Exodus chapter 3, verse 6. Starting chapter 3.
Verse 6 is right there. Look.
On verse 6. Yeah, on verse 6. Chapter 3. Go on, verse 6.
Look, right there. Verse 6.
Chapter 3, verse 6.
Chapter 3. We do whatever.
Chapter 4.
Look. Verse 6. Look at verse 6.
Okay, so Exodus chapter 3, verse 6. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
So, as he was speaking with Moses, he had an assignment for him to do. To go back to Egypt and to free the Israelites. Yes, free the Israelites. And Moses had a couple of questions. He wanted to know, what should he tell the people when he's coming to free them? He wanted to know his name also. Anybody ever wonder where the name Ahia comes from and why we always say it? Well, we find it here. If you guys stay in Exodus chapter 3, look at verse 13 and 14.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 13. And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. He's going to say what? And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. So what is the name? Say it louder.
I am that
I am.
I am that I am. How do you say it in Hebrew?
I am.
How do you say it in Hebrew? What's the Father's name in Hebrew?
Everyone say it. Everyone. One more time. There you go. And what does it mean again in English? I am that I am. All right. So now we get to the point where Moses, he goes to Pharaoh and he goes to tell him that Yeshua said, let my people go. And the very first thing he did, his rod turned into a snake, a serpent. You guys want to see that? So it turns into a serpent. And then Pharaoh had his magicians turn theirs into a serpent. But Moses' rod ate up the serpents. So yeah,
That is not
so that was one thing that happened. That was the first thing that Moses did when he went to go see Pharaoh. Now, the first plague that happened was this.
What is that? What do you see?
Red water.
That's blood in the water.
Yeah, red water, the blood in the water.
Never drink that. That might cause a bleeding cause.
Yeah, they couldn't drink it. The second one was
What's
the
that?
frog.
The poison. If you swallow it, it won't like it's dry and die. And then somebody might come.
So with the frogs, Moses had a message for Pharaoh. And listen to what he told Pharaoh.
Exodus chapter 8, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go.
Everyone say it. Let my people go.
Say it loud. Let my people go.
Yes. Now, the next plague was lights. This is a picture of lights. I'm going to show you guys a video of lights also. This is a video of lights. But it was everywhere, not just in the head. It was on the floor, it was on their arms, it was everywhere. Look how nasty that is. Yuck. No, that's Look, I
So Moses came to Pharaoh. So Moses came to Pharaoh, and he told him, Let my people go. And Pharaoh said no. So what happened next?
So the next one was going to be the fourth plague. And in the fourth plague, he told him what was going to happen. But this time, it was only going to happen to the Egyptians. It wasn't going to happen to the Israelites. So he put a separation between Israel and the Egyptians with this plague, plague number 4. And let's see what that one is. In Exodus chapter 8, we're going to read verse 20 and 22. Chapter 8.
All right, Shemaiah, listen. Exodus chapter 8, verse 20. And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and saith unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me. What did he tell him?
Let my people go.
Louder.
Let my people go.
Verse 22. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth.
So this is what it looked like. It's probably way more than this, though. Look at all those flies.
Oh, that's 100.
It's more than 100. It's like thousands. They were everywhere.
1,100.
Look at that. Look how many flies are on the floor, on the ground.
Whoa.
They probably did, you know. All right, and now we're going to get to the next one. What is that? And I just count all their animals, all of Egyptians. Remember, there was separation between Israel and the Egyptians.
You
Dead
said
animals.
you showed this picture. You said, "What is that?" She said, "It's cow disease."
Who said that?
Annalisa. She got nothing with your girlfriend.
All right, and we're going to read in Exodus chapter 9, verse 1, real quick. Exodus.
chapter 9, verse 1.
Oh, I find it not.
All right, Shemai. Exodus chapter 9, verse 1. Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me.
Everyone say it.
Let
my people go.
All right. All right. Now we have the next
What?
one.
That they may serve me.
Oh, yeah, hey. He's
Whoa,
going through it, yeah.
what's that? Does anyone know what that is?
I thought she said like
Oils.
Remember we talked about Job last week? That's how Job looked. And that was all over the Egyptians because Pharaoh would not let Yeshaya's people go.
Was it over the Israelites?
No.
That's right.
No. No.
It was only over who?
The Egyptians.
The Egyptians.
Mhm. All right. So then
But then she said
the next thing, it was hail and fire raining down.
Look at his whole hand.
It was not falling down on the Israelites.
No, only the Egyptians.
I'm gonna see if you can crack your
This is fire.
Mhm.
Stop it, that's
So that happened. And then let's go to the next one. Locusts.
No, they look like grasshoppers, but they're locusts.
Yep. And what did Moses say to Pharaoh? Everyone say it. Come on.
Let my people go.
Is that how he said it? Let
Let my people go.
How he say it?
Let my people go. Let my people go.
All right. Now the next one. You guys have to really watch for this one. Darkness. That you could not see the person in front of you. Do you see the people? You guys see the people? You guys look closer. You see the head?
You too. Look, I'm finna
I see.
No, they really there. They're really there. They're really there. You see them too? They can't see each other. You can see them? All right, everybody sit back so everyone can see.
Yeah.
No, it's a certain
No, it's something there.
There's people there.
It's a fly.
No, that's not it. See, they're reaching out. See the arms? They're reaching out.
No, this is cute.
Look, I'll help y'all out. Look.
Don't say that.
Oh, this is in the morning.
Y'all see him now?
Oh.
That's fine.
She said, y'all see that?
But in the
They
darkness,
couldn't see anything.
listen, Shemai, in the land of Egypt, though, the darkness was so dark that they couldn't see each other and they were standing right in front of each other. Just like how Shepherd taught last night about the darkness that you can feel. This is that same darkness that you can feel. And that's what happened to the Egyptians.
That's the Israelites. They had light.
Yep, the Israelites had light.
yes.
They didn't have this. Yep. Now, with this one, Pharaoh said that he didn't want to see Moses' face anymore. And Moses told him, he spoke well, that you will not see my face anymore. The last plague was death of every male firstborn. Now, with this one, the people who did not see death, they had to partake. They partook in the Passover meal, and they took the blood of the lamb and they put it over the doorpost. That's the doorpost right there. And everyone who had the blood over the doorpost, the angel of death did not touch their door. But because the Egyptians, some of the Egyptians did not believe, and Pharaoh did not believe, do you think they put the blood on the top of the doorpost?
Did Pharaoh do that?
Yes. So some of the people who didn't believe, they didn't do that. But everyone who feared Yeshua, the Israelites, and even some of the Egyptians, they put it on the doorpost. And the angel did not come through, and they did not kill the people in the house. So because Pharaoh didn't do that, the firstborn males. So there was a lot of death that day. A lot of firstborn males died.
What do you think happened to Pharaoh's firstborn son?
Die.
Died.
And after that, Pharaoh told them to go, leave Egypt. Now, when they left Egypt, only counting the men and women that were there, it was 600,000.
Wow, 600.
Not counting children. It wasn't counting children. 600,000 men. Mm-hmm.
Just the men and women?
No, just the man was
Just the
counting.
men.
Just the men. 600,000 men.
600,000 men. So that doesn't count the women or the children or even maybe some of the Egyptian servants wanted to leave too.
Maybe they believe Messiah, one of them.
So, out of those people, here are the 12 tribes of Israel.
I don't know what they named though.
We're about to go over them.
Judah.
We have Judah. Everyone say Judah.
Judah.
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Levi.
Levi.
Ephraim.
Ephraim.
Manasseh.
Manasseh.
Simeon.
Simeon.
Zebulun.
Zebulun.
Gad.
Gad.
Reuben.
Reuben.
Asher.
Asher.
Issachar.
Issachar.
And Naphtali.
Naphtali.
These are the 12 tribes of Israel. Everyone say it.
These are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yes.
Oh, you gotta incorporate that. They got another 12 tribes.
So,
Naphtali are the so-called Hawaiians and Samoans.
I know all the ancient I don't know what they meant.
so Israel, they left. They left Egypt. See how many people it is?
Yeah.
It was so many people. Mm-hmm.
That's the fair one.
So many people left out.
It was sad.
No, they were happy that they were.
Yeah, they were happy. We're gonna see. Pharaoh changed his mind. He came for them, and the people got scared. But Moses, through Yeshua, he parted the Red Sea and he separated the waters.
Angels and
The power of Yeshua. This is the power of Yeshua.
Listen,
He separated the Red Sea so the Israelites can pass through on dry land.
so they didn't have to worry about a boat. They didn't have to worry about swimming. They didn't have to worry about the animals in there to eat them. They could walk through safely.
Mhm. Now, when it came time, the Egyptians tried to follow behind them. But all the waters came down, and Pharaoh and his soldiers, they drowned. They drowned in the Red Sea. You see that? Nope.
Not the Israelites. We made it through safe.
Mhm. Now, because of that, when they realized that they made it across safely, they started to rejoice. So, one of the women in Exodus, her name is Miriam. That's Moses' sister. She picked up her tambourine and she started praising. Everyone started dancing and praising and thanking Yeshua for allowing them to get through safely, and they were out of Egypt. They were no longer in bondage.
Yes.
Would you guys be happy about that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When we go to the New Jerusalem, are you gonna be singing and happy too?
Yeah.
So they exited, and Yeshua was with them in a pillar of fire and a pillar of clouds. Now, remember how we just said they were rejoicing when they left? That was short-lived, unfortunately. They started.
At night until
Yep, this is the fire and this is the cloud. This is the cloud. But why they started throughout the wilderness, they complained and complained. They complained about having water. They complained about having food. So that was just a couple of the things they complained about. They started complaining more and more. Do you think Yeshua was happy with that? Why not?
Yeah, because
No.
Yeah, you need to be happy. Happy and go about what you trying to give you.
There you go.
Because people in the mood kept complaining about the food that you trying to give them, so they have to buy it.
So after that, a couple of months into the wilderness, 3 months after they left Egypt, they got the 10 Commandments. Moses went up to the mount, he met with Yeshua, and he got the 10 Commandments along with some other things. We also see in Exodus that they built the tabernacle of the congregation. So some of the things that were in there, the Ark of the Covenant. That is a depiction of what we think it may look like.
That's in China.
No. And
And
also,
that to you on the show.
Yeshua gave them instructions on how to make this, and he also gave them instructions on how Aaron's priestly garments and his son's garments should be. So everything had an attire, and this is the tabernacle of the congregation. We have the, you can't really see it, but this is the inner court, the tabernacle of the congregation. We have the inner court, the Ark of the Covenant was inside of here.
The Holy of Holies.
The Holy of Holies, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it looked in the wilderness. Now, when Moses came down from the mount one time, he saw the people with the golden calf. And Moses made them he melted it down and he made them drink it up with a straw.
Wiggly straw.
Now, there's a lot of other things that happened in Exodus, but something that was very interesting, when Moses went up one time in the mountain with Yeshua, he was there for so long, he got to see the backside of Yeshua. And when he came down, his face was shining. Probably brighter than that.
Was it Shia in him?
The glory of Yeshua was all over him.
Because he got to see the backside of Yeshua. He didn't see his face, but he got to see his backside. And Yeshua is so glorious that after he looked at the backside of him, it was radiating off his face.
The glory of Yeshua.
Because Moses is a flesh body, but you can only look upon Yeshua in your spiritual body when you get your new body, when you're going to the New Jerusalem. So if he showed Moses his face and he was in flesh, it would kill Moses. So he can only see his backside,
If you're in your soul, you see his face.
your spirit. And that's why also when Moses came down, he had a lot of gray hair. He got older. No, not to where he was gonna die, but he aged. He got a few years older. He looked a few years older.
Yes.
He's gonna get older and older. I think, is he gonna pass out?
Yeah.
Has he now? Not talking about, he's talking about being old.
That's like if Bana was to see the backside of Yeshua, and then he came to us and say, "Hey, I seen the backside of Yeshua, and Bana has gray hair. But he's young. He looks young, but
You know the deal.
he gets older."
No, like passing out is like when you pass out dead.
That's her time.
So that's everything for the book of Exodus. And thank you all for joining us. Please join us at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the main Shabbat lesson. All right, Kwame Sharala.
Come, Yeshua.